Hey, what's up you guys? So I'm coming to you with another video, and today we are just doing another video talking about how should Filipinos vote based upon another person's YouTube video and everything. So I already had another video lined up today, and it was a reaction video to Demi Lovato's Commander-in-Chief, but YouTube blocked it. I didn't know until hours ago, so now I'm here after work, crunch time to do two videos. So I'm gonna need to skip the intros and just go straight into the actual video. And so yeah, so again, just real quick before, if I do have to do a small intro, again, what up, my name is Mitch, Maverick Mitch. Hey Mitch, all the Mitches, and pretty much I like talking about what I talk about, so current events, reviews, and pop culture. So be sure to check out those videos as you're finishing this video. Alright, so again, this is coming from Coffee with the Goose. I don't know too much about the channel, but I'll let him talk about it. He's going to talk about Filipino Americans, but his wife is Filipina, so that's why he's kind of invested in the game. So if you're watching this and you're like, why is this white guy talking about Filipinos, that's going to be it. But again, I'll just go with the video and we'll just go ahead, talk about it and everything. So
welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose, where we talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. And boy, when you talk politics, it's all three of those. And we're going to talk politics today. Thank you for joining me. I am the Goose. We'll start with a little sip of Java. My coffee, as you know, very strong. Like my...
I wonder if his name is Goose because of Top Gun. I mean, like, my name's Maverick, or at least my call sign. I don't know. My alias, I guess.
Opinion, and got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. Alright, now we're going to talk politics. Now, I want to tell you what I'm not trying to do. First of all, don't want to lead you down the wrong road here. I'm not here to rant and rave and call anybody names. That's not what I do. And I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, okay?
Also, the mic, he should probably get a more slimmer lapel pin or lapel mic instead of something so like, I mean, I'm sure he's gonna say he's been in the radio business. Okay, I've seen only the first half, I didn't see the whole thing. But I mean, he's gonna say that he's in radio business, so probably that's remnants of it, so.
What I'm here to do today is to talk to my Filipino brothers and sisters here in the United States, and there's a few million of you. I think I know most of you millions, by the way. And I just want to make you aware of who is who and what they stand for. That's it. And make up your own mind. Now, one thing I learned early on about, and you know, I'm Irish, I'm German, I'm Norwegian, but yet I have a Filipino heart because my wife, beautiful Raquel, comes from Cebu. So I
what up, Cebu?
It's in my heart, and I deeply care about the Philippines and the Filipinos. But I know you guys are very smart. Most of you here in the U.S. at any rate are college educated, far smarter than I am. But when it comes to politics, I like to think I know the game. I've spent 35 years in the radio business, had a chance to interview many politicians, and actually moderated debates between congressional candidates. So I know what I'm talking about. Facts are one thing, opinions are another, okay? I'm here to give you facts. Just so you know, not what you see and hear on social media. By the way, that's the worst place to get news. Or CNN, MSNBC, all the major networks. More often.
Actually, a caveat to that, I would, so a lot of millennials, younger millennials and Gen Z gets their politics from social media, on memes and everything. I think memes can be effective only if you know the context, right? If you don't know the context and take everything for surface value, like Green New Deal, like we should take away fossil fuels so that everyone, because fossil fuels destroys the thing, and then you're like, oh, okay. But if you realize and you go into it and you learn, like, our country actually depends on fossil fuels, like, the transition will take over time, but like there's still many of our industry depends on fossil fuel.
Not it's garbage. Okay, so here, let's start with Republicans and Donald Trump as the presidential candidate, the incumbent. Okay, I'm not a Republican, by the way. I tend to be pretty conservative. I believe in tradition.
he's gonna go into it, but like I remember him saying this, and he's saying he's not Republican, but he's a conservative, and I guess that's true. I mean, you as a conservative is not beholden to one political party. You should still vote on whatever aligns with your values the most. So I see what he was saying, that he's not registered personally as a Republican, but he may vote for Republican or Democrat if they share more of his values. But yeah.
I believe in our the value of our Constitution. I believe in worshiping God. I believe in the right to free speech, the right to freedom of religion, and the freedom of the right to bear arms. Yes, I believe in that. And I believe in traditional things like marriage between a man and a woman. I try, even though I'm a sinner, to adhere to Catholic Church teachings. I try. But at the same time, not be judgmental. Again, who am I? I make mistakes too. I'm not perfect. Anyhow, here is what conservatives or Republicans stand for. They stand for smaller government. I don't want Washington, D.C., I don't want the big bureaucrats or the politicians ruling my life. I don't want you telling me what I can and can't eat, can and can't read, watch, listen to, any of that, okay? I want freedom. I want the freedom to make up my own mind, to raise my family the way I see fit. I believe in worshiping God, like I said. I believe in freedom of speech, even if you don't like what I have to say. But on the lighter side, freedom is a wonderful thing until you see somebody you disagree with exercising theirs, right? So it's a balancing act. By the way, what did God give all of us? Freedom, right? We're not little soldiers, lock, stock, and barrel, doing everything that we should or shouldn't, But that also what conservatives believe in. I think I mentioned marriage, the value of marriage between one man and one woman that builds a strong society. Fiscal responsibility, not borrowing, spending what you don't have, right?
I think it's just one thing on the marriage portion is, I think there's a vast majority of conservatives that are still following the Judeo-Christian definition of marriage, but I think there is a growing number, especially from the walkaway movement and everything. I think there is a growing number of conservatives who are taking the more libertarian view of marriage, allowing marriage equality while still observing within their own religious practices what he was saying, marriage is man, woman, and God, but understanding that there's a secular libertarian view. And I think there's a lot of Republicans that are taking, at least maybe not as a party Republicans, but more mainstream conservatives are taking a more of a libertarian view on that. And really, like when you talk, like watching the walkaway debate with Blair White and Brandon Strzok this past weekend, like they say it themselves, like there's no one that they know of in the conservative side that's really trying to take away marriage equality and all that stuff. And that's one of the fear tactics that the left is using, especially with ACB coming into hopefully confirmed this Monday as a new Supreme Court justice. So I just want to add that note. Like I agree with him that the conservatives believe that, but I want to add a caveat that a growing number of people is being libertarian on the marriage equality.
Again, the right to bear arms. And by the way, the Second Amendment was not made for deer hunting. It was made to protect yourself. Look it up. Not just against the bad guys, but against the government.
Tim Pool actually makes a good point about this, is that, like, he talks about Tim Pool used to be not pro 2A. He was probably, like, on the fence about it. But ever since COVID happened, he has been very much 2A. And I guess he's been looking into it a lot more. And it's funny, like, in 2A, you can actually have a pirate ship. Like, in 2A, you can actually have a tank. It's all in there. Like, so, I agree with what he was saying. It's not just, like, a musket back in the 1700s. So
Yes, that's what the Second Amendment is for. And I'm not going to tell you whether or not I own a weapon. That's my business. Okay? But I believe, I'll say this.
I'm sure he
I
does.
believe in the right to defend oneself and one's family. Okay? Now, and I'm also very, very much against things like abortion.
okay,
Let's be honest. Come on now. Be honest with yourself. It's you're killing a baby. That's what abortion is. Don't tell me my body, my right. That's not your body. That's somebody else's body inside you. Why is it that we have laws against some guy, some abusive husband or boyfriend punching you in the stomach and killing that baby, and he'll go to jail because that's manslaughter?
okay,
But yet,
good point.
you can go to Planned Parenthood and do the same thing, and that's protected? Come on.
I thought he was going to go this route. I thought he was going to say there's laws that you cannot. It's illegal for pregnant women to drink and smoke, but so it is illegal to harm the child, but it's legal to abort the child, to murder the child. I won't use the word murder when I'm talking to someone in an apologetics form, but I mean, calling it for what it is, it's marriage. I mean, I'm sorry, calling it for what it is, it's murder, sure, whatever, but it doesn't translate well when you're talking to someone that is pro-choice. So I won't necessarily use the M word, so yeah.
It really makes no sense. And also, I'm not going to go too far on the abortion issue, but I just want to make this very clear. If you say, well, what about rape and incest? I hear you, I understand, but rape, out of all the millions of babies that are killed in abortion, less than 3% are rape and incest. So, we can have a discussion, okay? But they're still human beings. Never, ever forget. That's not just some jumble of nonsense, fluids in there. It's a human life. And I think...
And just to add to that, not more of the pro-life side is gonna cover. I mean, if you're a pro-choice person and you believe in abortion up until 20 weeks, try telling that to someone who is a devout pro-choice person who is up until 9 months. If you're saying that you want some restrictions, they'll outright denounce you, and cancel you just because you want some form of restrictions. Like, if you want to say hey, pro-lifers, you should care more about the baby other than the birth. You should take care of the foster kids and all this other stuff. Yeah, okay, we do. And if we don't, we will try harder. But tell that on the other side. If you're a pro-choice person and if you think that you should restrict abortions up to 20 months, 20 weeks, tell that to someone who is no restrictions. Again, like I said, they'll cancel you. So the left is unhinged.
I think I read recently, within 18 months of conception, a heart is beating. So anyhow, that's the conservative view on. And one more thing, if you don't mind. I'm also, and again, I'm not perfect, but sleeping around, having sex just because it's fun, it leads to heartache. Emotionally, medically, all the way down the line. It's the wrong way to go. And statistics bear me out. One more thing that conservatives believe in. When I say the family unit is crucial to a stable society, having a father in the house is you can't have a stable family without a father in the house. And look up the statistics. What are the odds of a young man or young woman getting into a life of crime with or without a father in the house? It's not even close. It's a stabilizing factor. Okay, what do liberals believe in? Okay, and I understand. I'm a little bit liberal too. I want all the freedom, but liberals believe in the United States, open borders, no border for that matter. The Democrat Party.
Yes. Okay.
If you're following news at all, has gone. I don't want to say off the deep end, but close.
I mean that is very far left, having open borders.
Communism.
So
they want. I'm not going to say the Democrat Party leadership, but
what do they do?
Progressives,
yes.
Antifa,
Green Party,
after, yeah. Again, look at the evidence that's out there. They're after disruption, destabilization of the society. And then the government takes over. They're after big government, more government involvement. The government makes all the decisions, most of the decisions. Liberals are in favor of big government, big spending, open borders.
I mean, like when it comes to like far left into socialism, communism, the government acts as God. Like government, instead of God providing for you, giving you salvation, it is. I always put this in other stuff too, but like it would be the government granting you salvation instead, and granting you all of the rights that you want. Like it's the government that replaces God. Like instead of God, give me guidance and be in my life. It says like government, give me free education and guide my life. Yeah, so.
Freedom to kill your baby. Also, eugenics. You ever hear of eugenics? That's killing the elderly too. They're in favor of that. Dr. Kevorkian, remember? It's just too painful. The liberals, and I understand a lot of what they're saying. Love immigrants.
He didn't go into their anti-death penalty, right? And that's more on the right side. And then obviously there's Catholics that are pro-life. Well, Catholics should be pro-life, but I mean, there's Catholics that are also anti-death penalty. But he could have asked that. I mean, going into eugenics, which I agree that's on the right side, or sorry, on the left side. Gosh, this is going to get confusing. That it's going to be on the left side, but he didn't say like the left is about anti-death penalty. One of the few good things that they're advocating.
Freedom, but let's not be irresponsible to the point where society is ripped apart. And what we're seeing now, and this sounds crazy, or would have sounded crazy years ago, but we're seeing that happen as we speak. Slowly but surely, our society is being torn apart. The riots, not protests. When you burn down buildings, when you loot, when you hurt police officers, that's not a protest. It's a riot. And I'm pro-police too, by the way. Anyhow, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I know
Just one more thing, like Temple was reporting on this, and I forgot where he was getting the source, and I wanted to find the source because so I can upload it and change and advertise it or share it. But like now that some of these cities have defunded police, the next thing that they're trying to do is, and you can say it's only one small person, whatever. It's gonna be their voice is gonna get louder. They're saying to get rid of the Constitution. Yeah, we're going there because obviously they hate the country. They hate everything about anything about this country. So the next thing they're gonna call for is calling out the Constitution. Because let me guess, they're gonna call it was written by white men, and we were not all created equal, and it was all like no women can vote, no blacks can vote. It was all about white men, and the Constitution is racist. Not to know that we made amendments, but that's the rhetoric. But
I saw at the beginning of the show, I said I'm not going to give you my opinion, but these are opinions, but they're based on facts. I want to know what you have to say as Filipino Americans. And I said at the start, you guys are very intelligent. You're much more educated than I am, I admit. But having said that, I know politics. I know, I've been around the block. Yes, I've been to college. I have some not degrees. I have, a few years under my belt. So I studied it, and I've studied history. And what we're seeing in this country, in the United States, has been going on and growing for about 40 years, ever since the 1960s. And it's very sad to see. I pray that, we're going to see smart voters in November voting for security, stable society, stable borders. Oh, one more thing. The United States allows more immigrants than any other country in the world by far, even under President Trump.
Legal immigrants.
Do you think Trump
But I
is
mean,
a-
I suppose there's illegal
Indian
immigrants
doesn't know what
still
he's
coming in.
Don't listen to CNN. Don't listen to a Democrat because they're political opponents. Look it up, and you'll be surprised at all the great things this guy has done. A racist? He has authorized more money going to black colleges and universities than any president ever, including the only black president we had, Mr. Obama. The economy that he led up until the coronavirus disruption, we had more jobs, better unemployment among blacks, Hispanics, and many other groups than they've ever seen. So don't tell me he's a racist who doesn't care about this group or that group. The statistics just don't bear that out, okay? Look at what he's done. Don't listen to people who just talk, without any proof whatsoever. That's all I got to say. I wanted to just lay out all the facts for you guys. To say it again, you guys, Filipino Americans and Filipinos in general, very intelligent people. My wife, much smarter than I am, okay? She's brilliant. She married me. Well, we'll have our off days. But I want to know what you guys think. I know when you talk politics or religion, it gets the hair raised on the back of your neck. But I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Without, the name calling. Look this stuff up. It's crucial. Our survival as a country, as a society, is at stake. And the stakes are very high in this election. It's up to you what decision you make when you pull the lever, when you go to the ballot box. But number one, please vote. Okay? Don't come at me later and say, these guys are, and, okay, who'd you vote for? Well, I didn't vote. Get out of here. Get out of my face. Do your duty and vote.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up here because, of course, it was going to happen. My camera also died out. So I pretty much have to wrap up this video just doing voiceover. And pretty much, so final thoughts and then a few things that he missed out talking about the Democrat side and what they're trying to platform. A big portion of their side is healthcare, and that's one of the things they're trying to grill President Trump on, but he is incentivizing like things kind of like insulin and trying to deregulate pharmaceuticals so that it becomes cheaper. You can quote me on that, you can double check me on that, but that's something I know the left is something that would like, and it's something that Trump is trying to actively look into. Next one, the left used to be anti-war, but they are very much like, hey, Trump has doing peace deals, and now they're like, hey, we should actually be in the Middle East. So they're flipping on that one. Another thing that they flip on, or at least Biden flips on, and it won't touch on, and he can't make a decision. We know his decision, but it always panders to whatever group he's talking about, and it's the Green New Deal, and it's the environmental crisis, or the crisis that the left is trying to make, so that they can push more regulation and they can push more control into the government. So that's one of the things the left is focused on, is the climate change, and I go into that because like Biden didn't answer if he will or will not ban fracking. He said he won't ban fracking, but in his other videos and his other speeches in the Democratic debates, he said he would ban fracking. And so again, he flips on it because banning fracking is definitely in the Green New Deal. Banning fracking is something that definitely of the Green Party and the progressives, but he won't say it just because he's trying to pander as well as to the moderates and the working class that depends on fracking and those jobs. What else? Another thing that the left is big on is free education, a lot of socialist programs, right? And so, I guess there's a level in which you can have that discussion with the right and the conservatives, but more right now, I think the focus, and I guess those are important topics, but the focus right now is just getting people working again and getting this COVID situation handled and pretty much reclaiming the rest of the nation, because it's going down the drain with all, like he was saying, with all these riots, you know, and so we need to have law and order back, because a lot of these cities that are defunding police, you know, crime rates are going up, big surprise, and a lot of people are leaving big cities, New York, California, because the taxes are too high. So we definitely need to fix all of that before getting free education. That's low in the priority. So there's a lot of things, okay, wrapping it up, there's a lot of things that I definitely agreed with him on, and when it comes down to it, you know, I say it a lot in my videos, I feel like, I know that Filipino culture is inherently conservative. I always say that there's a conversation to have with liberal values, education, talking about our history, talking about anti-colonialism, if we even want to go there. At least have the knowledge about our colonial past. I'm not down for taking out a Western civilization, because I think Western civilization is an overall good. Has Western civilization done some horrible things? Correct, just like with any other civilization. But for the most part, we have become a more freer nation, a more like we have gained more prosperity through Western civilization. And so, yeah, there's a lot of things that I can say into this video, but I guess I can save it to another video. But I just want to add in my thoughts for the last portion. And yeah, I think this guy did a great job as far as breaking things down. And to me, obviously, he's conservative, and I follow everything that he was saying. So yeah, okay, so just wrapping it up, thanks for watching. Again, thank you for watching. You can follow me on my Instagram at Mitch. You can follow my joint Instagram at It's Matter to Have Fun, where I do other videos with my friend Jen. I'm also on Parler, Mitch. And again, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.